Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a couple failed attacks that turned into a 3-star. So you'll see how the small adjustments that are made for each one of these attacks that get the triple. So I got two 12v12s and an 11v11, and two of them were my hits that I failed, and then people came in to clean it up. So let me go ahead and walk you through these. All right, so this first attack is going to be Nick coming in on number 1. So let's go and take a look at what he's got. He's got 38 balloons, he's got 9 bat spells, and he's going to want to drop them in the core here where you see all the multi-damages. On the edges, there are these single-target infernos, so if these were multi-target infernos here, this attack would not even have a chance at working. Only because these are single-target infernos does this have a chance, because plus he can drop it in the core and completely wipe out the core. So let's go and see and take a look at the point where he drops the spells here. So let's go and take a look, and the spells are going to get dropped right there. All right, so he planned initially to have this freeze spell not only freeze this wizard tower, this multi, but also that wizard tower right there. And he misses the freeze, drops the bats, but as you can see, that wizard tower is not frozen. So he's going to do his best to get all of that down. He also drops the Skelly spell in here. It's not going to get much value because, as you can see, the queen is not going down, but the Skelly start to damage the queen. Doesn't take her down, but damages her. But now where does he want to start next? Now that all the splash damage you see wouldn't really do too much damage in here, all of this area is cleared. Now he's dropping the balloon and baby dragon to clear this section because he sees that this town hall is reachable. If this town hall was one tile further back, starting right here, then the queen can't reach it. But since there is only one defense, and then that defense is touching the town hall and touching the wall, then the queen can reach over and hit this town hall. And funny enough, if this town hall, let's say, was the eagle instead, the queen can't reach it. But since it's a town hall, she can. It's really weird. Don't ask me how that works, but that is the case. So this baby dragon is going to make a nice funnel here. This base was already hit before, so this wasn't necessarily a fresh attack, but Nick was giving it a shot anyway. So the king is going to go in here. It's going to lead the charge. It's going to tank all of these defenses in this area, and the queen is going to move her way inside the space and going to be able to use her ability on that town hall. So as you can see, she's pushing her way in, and they're going to pop her ability right there. And now the stone slammer is going to be dropped right here on this expo because he saw that this expo was a little deep in the base, and he wanted to take this down and then move his way into the rest of the space here. He drops the hound from over here, not from here, because he doesn't want the hound to get locked down to the inferno tower too long. But then the stone slammer pops, and this baby dragon starts to do work on these balloons plus those air skellies. So now he doesn't have any more like spells to move through this base, so he's kind of just relying on the damage of these balloons to move through, plus use the warden ability over the queen to help use those pups to kill that queen. Pops it right there. He probably could have ended up saving that warden ability a little later in the raid, so that might have been a little early because the balloons really weren't getting hit at all, so he wasn't really saving too much there. So the pups did end up killing the queen. And now he's going to move through the rest of the space. But look at this. He's got a splash damage at the end with no spells. That can be devastating. And then there's a bunch of actually traps in this area, which actually hurt a lot too. You'll see the second hit, El Jefe, come in around this way, and there's no splash damage remaining up top. So it was a nice entry that he did. So Nick came close, didn't get it. But let's go and take a look at El Jefe's attack, which ended up getting the triple on this base. All right, so here is El Jefe coming in, and notice this, right? El Jefe forgot to boost his troops, so he doesn't have a max freeze, and he doesn't have a max bat spell, which Nick did. And he did exactly the same thing, got the same value, but he doesn't have the max troops. No boosted spells, so he forgot to do that. So now let's go and take a look. So El Jefe drops the free spell and actually is able to freeze all of these defenses in here. So there's the rage and there's the freeze. He was able to reach that and freeze all of that. The bats come in. They are not maxed, and look at the value that they still do get in this attack. Look at that. And they still even get that eagle because there is no other splash damage in the area, so they are able to do a wonderful job. Does the same thing, sends the balloons in, uses the baby dragon to funnel, and then the king and queen, just like in Nick's hit, for the Town Hall. So as you can see, he's going to push his way into the space here. Queen's going to grab that Town Hall, but then El Jefe is going to Lalo from a different side. He's going to Lalo from this side, right? Why this side? Well, the queen is closer to that area as well. But look, there is no splash damage over here. He'd rather fly through this initial entry, take down the splash damage, and then end on an area that is no splash damage, right? So he's flying through, plus this hound can then pull the traps that were right there, and so the balloons won't have to go through it. And he's okay with the hound locking on as long as it pulled the traps and got a lot of value, which he did. And then El Jefe has a Max Skelly, which he's going to drop on the queen. Nick ended up dropping that in the beginning, so dropping that second helped a lot. This baby dragon is still up doing some work, taking down these pups right here, but El Jefe is going to pop that ability, save that pup right there to help take down that baby dragon, and now he's moving through the space, and these balloons don't have to worry about any splash damage through the rest of the space. If there was a wizard tower here or here, it could have definitely been devastating to this group of loons that have grouped up. But there is no splash. They have to take these balloons down one at a time. And look at this. El Jefe just pushes through. Doesn't have any more spells, but he doesn't need them. It's just a matter of overpowering the final defenses here. So El Jefe, nice adjustment in getting this triple. He's just got to fly over to that corner to grab that builder hut. And there is the 3-star. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Wise Man's fix on my fail on number 5. All right, so here is my attack here. I got very close, got a 95% 2-star. This was a fresh hit, so I had no idea what was in the CC or anything. So now I'm coming with the Dragbat. So what caused me to fail in this attack? Well, my initial plan was to send some balloons into this cannon to pick it off and then send a wizard to create a bit of a funnel, right? So the balloons would remove this cannon, the wizard remove that right there. Then I sent a balloon here, and then I sent a baby dragon to remove all of this, right? So that's my funnel, right? Then I would send the king here. He would go this way, and he would move on to here, and then he would beat through this wall just like that. Then I send some wall breakers. I test wall broke right there. Queen would be behind the king to step up and grab this town hall and whatever else I can. So if all of this went down from my heroes, then I would send the dragons from this angle, just like this, around the base like that. Then I would have some more dragons from here, and then the stone slammer would go right here to this air defense. I want the stone slammer to get that air defense as quick as possible. Then they'll move through the space. Yeah, there's this sweeper that's pushing back. So then I definitely had a plan. I wanted to freeze that, but you'll see I should have froze the eagle and that. So I do all of this. This was kind of the beginning portion. Get the heroes to get to the town hall. Just like that. Dragons through the base. Stone slammer through here. And move my way just like this. Okay, so if the dragons are coming that way, where would be the best spot for the bats? Well, where's the splash? There's a splash here, splash there, splash there, splash there. All of the other splashes handled by the dragons. All right, so what did I want to do? Well, since I saw there was splash here in the multi and there's an air defense down at 6, I froze this section, dropped the rage, and all the bats cleared all of this, and then the bats would fly this way, right? So then you freeze that wizard tower, since I had 4 freezes in this case. Bats would continue through, and then you freeze this section, and the bats continue just like that. So let me go ahead and play it. You'll see me. I also mistimed my ability. So I made a few different errors, and then you'll see the changes that Wise Man did. So I dropped the balloon there, and then I dropped the baby dragon. I did this hit on the live stream, so if you guys were there, definitely shout out to all of you guys. So it's definitely a lot of fun. It was absolutely crazy. We got over to 600 live concurrent viewers. That's the most I've ever had personally. The highest before that was on my Twitch channel, which was at 300. So you guys literally double that watching this war against Ojax, which was insane. You guys show so much support over there. Definitely want to bring more of those to you guys. So if you guys are enjoying not only this video, but you enjoy the live stream, go ahead and subscribe down below if you guys haven't done already. It's very easy. Just click the button and you guys get those daily videos, which is what I'm bringing guys to you. So as you can see, my queen does go for the town hall, picks it off. I never pulled a CC, so I never found out what was in it, which is okay. It ended up being a lava loon out of all things, so that ended up working out in my favor. So now the dragon goes in. I didn't want my dragon to get picked off by this air defense. I wanted the stone slammer to fly in, and then the dragons would save some HP by not getting hit by the AD. But that was not the case when Wise Man did it. So you're going to see me fly into here. The stone slammer gets popped here, right? So this is the key. So look, the stone slammer gets popped there. Watch when Wise Man hits it. his Stone Slammer makes it all the way to the middle, right? So that's a big difference. And then watch what I freeze here. I freeze the Expo and the Sweeper, but Wise Man is going to freeze the Sweeper and the Eagle. So I kind of missed that freeze right there. Popped the Warden ability too early. So then you can see right here. Did you see that? You know what? Let's actually jump back so I can show you guys the freeze and the bat spell placement. It's literally as the freeze is falling, the bats are coming down too. So let me bring that right back up. Here is the rage spell. It's falling down, right? So the rage spell is going down, which is fine. Here comes the freeze, and then now look when I drop the bats, right? So you have to be super quick. The freeze is falling, and you can already see the bat spell is on its way. The freeze is coming, and the bat spell is literally right behind it. You have to be as quick as humanly possible when you drop it. And look, so I have 3 bat spells on the board or falling down before this freeze is actually down, right? So let's see how many I can get. So the freeze is now freezing everything. I have 3 bat spells fallen, and then there's 4, there's 5, and now everything is getting frozen, and then more bat spells are fallen. So you see that? I'm literally, as the freeze is mid-falling down, you want those bat spells. You don't want to wait. You want to do it as quick as possible. So now you can get as much value out of that freeze. Look at it. The bats clear all of the splash before the freeze wears off. Now everything is moving through. I kind of missed. I should have dropped the freeze spell on this wizard tower a little bit earlier. I was a little too late on that one. And then I dropped that freeze right there. I didn't have enough bats left over to move over there. So you'll see me not going to be able to get this 3-star. I fall short right on that final section there. This multi-target Inferno didn't have too much HP left. But then let's go ahead and take a look at what Wise Man changes to get the triple. All right, so here is Wise Man's attack. And let's go ahead and see. He has a little bit different thing. He drops 3 balloons. I ended up dropping 4 balloons, so he saves one because I was a little worried there. But look at what he does here. He drops the giant and then a wizard. I dropped a balloon and a baby dragon. So if you think about it, a balloon and a baby dragon is 15 camp space. A giant wizard's only 9. So he saved some right there by dropping just that. That's all he needed. He didn't need this. He didn't need this down. Just needed that camp down, which still allowed the king to go inside the space. So he saved some camp space right there. So he copied the entry. So he made a better use of the troops. So you want to use as least amount of troops as possible. So he's going to do the same thing. Test the wall breaker. Get inside the space here, and then the king and the queen are going to go into the space. Has the giant lead the charge a little bit so the queen get a little bit more value, and he does have an archer, 2 archers here, because he knows that, okay, well, Carbon, you flew through the base and didn't pull the CC, so he knows, 1, there's either Valkyries or something targeted that only targets ground, or it could be a Lava Hound and balloons, and it doesn't target air as well. So he has an archer just in case to move it if he pulls that CC, which he ends up pulling the CC. So out comes a lava and a balloon. And so as you see here, so that is probably the best thing. You don't want that to come out too quickly because then the queen will get stuck on it. But then he drops the archer all the way down here, so the hound flies down here while the queen is working in this compartment section, right? So the queen's going to go down, but the hound is already distracted by that archer that's in the corner. So now what is he doing? He's flying the dragons in. He flies this dragon here, which tanks the shots, lets this stone slammer go inside the space. It takes Seeking Air Mine there, but it still makes a nice way through the space. It gets through that air defense, freezes that sweeper and the eagle earlier. So nice freeze on that sweeper and eagle. Pushes his way through, doesn't have to worry about it pushing him too far back. Now that Stone Slammer is making further into the base here, pops that Warden ability to get through that, and then he can pop the balloons to take down that. So now as you can see, he does the same thing. There's the rage, and there is the freeze, and then there's the bats. Bats are coming down as the freeze is there. So he's moving his way through. The balloons made it all the way to the core to that eagle, so very nice job. He's pushing his way through, drops the freeze right here a little bit earlier, so nice job there. Has more bats to make it through down here, and then drops the freeze on that final multi-target Inferno. And look at how many bats are up. So by using better freeze placement, letting that dragon absorb some of the air defense shots to get that Stone Slammer deeper into the base, and using a Warden ability that was a little bit better, deeper in the base, that's what got Wise Man a triple, an overwhelming triple. Look at how many dragons are up compared to what I have. He still has a baby dragon here. All these dragons, the balloons, absolutely crazy. Wrecked the base. Beautiful job. My plan was close, but I made some errors, and Wise Man definitely capitalized on fixing the attack. So beautiful job. getting this 12v12 triple. Now let's go ahead and see the 11v11 that I failed and had a clanmate fix up. Alright, so here is my attack that I failed. I didn't get because of a few little errors that I did. So let's go ahead and play what I wanted to do. I ended up dropping the bat spells early in the core here because I wanted to remove not only this wizard tower, to remove as much as I possibly could. But what did I want to do first? Well, I wanted to use the giant and the queen over here to remove this wizard tower right here. And then I wanted to use the king right here to tank these expo shots so that the bats that are in here don't get hit by those expos. So that was my objective with the heroes and why I dropped them in those locations, right? So as you can see, the expo is targeting this king. I wanted that expo to target the king as well. So you'll see me drop the rage. I was waiting until that expo started to target him, and then that's when I dropped the freeze, and that's when I dropped all the bats right there. So the expos were targeting. Now they reroute onto the bats, but I still had that expo aggroed on my king to get as much value as possible. But there's a little too many defenses that kind of forced the bats to go all over the place, so wasn't able to get, but I got that expo down. But in terms of value-wise, it was fine. Definitely could have been better. You'll see by the cleanup hit, he chose the better part of the base to attack. So now I'm flying around the base this way to move around. This is with the lava loon, and I dropped the stone slammer over here. I should have dropped the stone slammer going over here to pop right on top of the queen, because now I have nothing to kill this queen because I had to have everything come in an angle to take care of this defenses here. So now all those balloons are getting locked down. Out comes the baby dragon and then the witch. I had to freeze this because I was scared that everything was going to clear all my balloons and everything very quickly. And then the dragon comes out of the stone slammer, but it's all the way over here. I needed the dragon right here to kill the troops, right? So I wasted pretty much the warden ability right there. I could have saved it for later because I needed to protect them. I didn't really kill the queen. I wasted a freeze spell, so there was a lot of errors in this attack. I ended up killing the queen there, but it wasn't the best. I do have a lot of balloons up, but I'm not able to get through this wizard tower and the Teslas there. They're able to pick off these balloons because they're moving way too slow. Get hit by the air bomb there and a bunch of air bombs, and then down they go. So if I was able to get the stone slammer into this section and moving just like that to pop over the queen, would have been way better. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the cleanup attack on the space to get the triple. Kind of the same army, but a little different entry, and it was the right call on this one. All right, so Matthew comes in, and he comes in with dragons, right? So I came with the Lalo. I wanted to see if I can get the Stone Slammer to drop over and kill the queen. So what is he going to do in this attack? He's going to use the king over here. The baby dragon's also going to be used there to funnel a little bit. He wants to remove as much of this stuff as possible, right? So he's going to go through here on this side, and then he's going to pick off all the easy trash buildings on the outside for so that the dragons wouldn't have to get it towards the end. Now he drops the queen over here. Drops a wizard to keep this stuff funneled, to keep the queen going this way. He wants to grab at least this air defense here for the dragons. That's his key objective. He wants to get that down so he doesn't have to worry about it. Now he starts the dragons right through here, going through the space, right? He has the stone slammer, and this way he can push directly into the queen section. There's also the CC, which is a damage CC, so it's not the best CC you want to see when you're doing a Lalo like me. I hit the base fresh, and now he's going to drop the Bat Spell's Rage on the opposite side over here to clear these air defenses where these dragons are not going to get to. Pops the Warden ability, way better use of the Warden ability in my case right there. Drops a beautiful freeze on that Wizard Tower, able to clear it, and look at all these bats moving now through that single target Inferno, through the Archer Tower's cannons, drops another freeze over there on that Wizard Tower. So overall, just a really nice hit, better than mine. He definitely chose the right hit to do it because definitely the CC, which is a damage one, can be a lot harder to kill because you only have one dragon to kill the enemy queen, this baby dragon, and the witch that's in it. But beautiful job at finishing off to get this triple in this war. So Matthew getting that 11v11. So hopefully this video was helpful in terms of teaching you guys how to fix some of these hits, making the small adjustments. I know there's probably going to be a nerf to the bat spell coming soon. But either way, it's not necessarily just learning to use the bat spell to get the triple, but learning how you can make small adjustments to get those 3 stars, get the Stone Slammer, usually as deep as you possibly can into attacks and bases, and then just capitalizing on the spell usage, which can make a big difference. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe down below to help grow this community. We are almost at 10K subs. It's absolutely insane. We'll probably be there very soon. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Carbonfin signing out. Peace.